one thing I realized about Warsaw that just hit me is that Warsaw is kind of like an onion. You know, you can't really understand it in one day. You can't really understand it in 2 days. You need time to kind of peel off those layers and try to better understand the city. I think we've been here for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. And I am just beginning to kind of get a feel for it. I'm beginning to kind of understand it. You know, it's definitely not a city that you come in and you understand it in like one day. It's not a city you fly in for like a weekend. Unless you have friends, unless you have somebody that can, you know, take you exactly where you need to go. But for me, you know, somebody who, you know, has never been to Warsaw, who doesn't know anything about it, right? Somebody who wants to live here, somebody who, you know, sees the value in the city. You gotta spend a lot of time here, you know. You gotta like get this city. You gotta let this city, you gotta absorb the city. You gotta feel it out. And I'm just beginning to realize, you know, how diverse, how modern, and how interesting the city is. I think somebody wrote on one of the comments is that you can live in Ochota, you know, all your life and never really wander away. And that's absolutely true. Because, you know, I'm the kind of guy, I want to live in the center, right? I want to live where the action is. But the longer we've lived in Ochota, the more that I realize that it kind of has it all over there. And that's kind of like a lot of these neighborhoods are, right? Like right now I'm in Mokotów, and I've never been here before. This was a neighborhood that a lot of people recommended us to check out. And you know, when I come in, when I first arrived here, I arrived to a point that was marked by Google on Google Maps as kind of that yellow area, meaning there's a lot of action there. And you know, yeah, I see a couple of restaurants, a couple of places, but there's a lot more, right? There's all of these residential areas, there's these little shops everywhere. It's, you know, it's like you gotta go deep, right? You gotta go deep inside each of these neighborhoods and kind of get the feel for it. So like with the Ochota, I'm thinking, when we were gonna move there, I'm thinking the whole time, all right, listen, it's gonna be your typical kind of the sleeping neighborhood that we call in Eastern Europe. This neighborhood where you just sleep and you do everything in the center. But nah, there's like coffee shops, there's like, you know, gyms nearby, there's like businesses, kind of everything that you need. And with each passing day, kind of the whole purpose of going to the center to do stuff, to, you know, entertainment, etc., kind of diminishes, because that neighborhood has it all. Now, I'm definitely going to be going to the center. The center has a lot of great things. There's, you know, things that are just irreplaceable that exist in the center. But Ochota has a lot of very interesting things. It's kind of, it stands on its own 2 feet. I can say that. And for me, that was a big discovery. That's a really cool building right here. This building so unique with these circle-shaped windows and kind of the whole architecture, the colors. Very, very cool building. I don't know what it says up there, but this building definitely stands out. There it says Szkoła Główna Handlowa w Warszawie. I hope at least I got close in pronunciation. Here's kind of like one of the main streets, and I really like that, you know, you have kind of a big sidewalk area, you have some green stuff, you have benches, and you have the road. So everybody kind of has it, right? And on this street right here, right, this pedestrian street, you have restaurants. Here you have a restaurant, cafe, bar, restaurant over there. This is, you know, this is awesome, right? You kind of have it all. You have, you know, your restaurants, your bars, if you're into that. You have, you know, places to hang out, to meet with friends. And that's kind of one of the big differences between living in Eastern Europe and living here in Poland, in Central Europe, is that in Kiev and really a lot of, you know, pretty much a lot of Eastern European cities, you typically do not want to live in a kind of far away from the center. I mean, if you have a reason, that's fine. But if you like, you know, if you are, you know, you want restaurants, you want things, you want action, you want to be part of the whole city scene. If you live far away from the center, you're not gonna have like a lot of that, right? You're gonna have a couple of small shops, you're gonna have a couple of small coffee shops, but you're not gonna get that whole city experience, right? That is the case with Kiev. And so with Kiev, me and Marina mostly lived in the center, right? You gotta live in the center if you like action, if you want, you know, you want to do stuff, you want to go to coffee shop. I'm a big kind of coffee shops guy. I love when the city has a good coffee shop scene. And when we moved out of the center, when we got our own apartment, that became a problem, right? Because now we have to keep coming to the center. And so with this mindset, I came to Warsaw and I was like, how do I gotta live in the center. But now I'm realizing it's completely different here in Warsaw. Meaning, you can live in a cool neighborhood and you still have all that cool stuff. You still have, you know, your scene, you have your coffee shops, you have your restaurants, you have all that. And that's the big difference between a city like Kiev in Eastern Europe and here in Poland. Here we got Tel Aviv urban food. That looks really, really good. I don't know, maybe I'll stop by here on the way back. And so the more time I spend here in Warsaw and the more time I explore all these neighborhoods, the more I'm beginning to realize that you really can't go wrong living in any one of these, right? Mokotów, Żoliborz, any of the neighborhoods that I explored previously, they all are unique and they all kind of have what I'm looking for, what me and Marina are looking for. So it's hard to kind of go wrong with any of them. Obviously, there's probably some neighborhoods that are kind of too far away from action. They're probably a little bit too residential. And that's just the fact of life, right? The more you move from the center, the more typically residential the neighborhoods are going to be. But for now, right, all the neighborhoods you guys have been recommending are spot on, right? They're unique in their own ways. They have their own soul. They have their own kind of feel about them. That's unique and that's different in every single one of them. You know, it's so interesting about the Polish language. Samochód is a car. And why is samochód a car? When in Russian it's maszyna, автомобиль. Pretty much in all other languages in Europe it's like auto, automobile, automobile in like Spanish. But then I thought about it and I realized like the plane in Russian is samolет. And so it kind of makes sense that we have samolет. Лёт is like to fly, летать. And samochód, chod is like to go, right? So samochód means it's kind of the same prefix. So I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. You know, there's a lot of things that are different, but when you think about them, they kind of make sense when you kind of look deeper inside. Words that initially are like, you know, leave you scratching your head. After you kind of delve deeper a little bit, they make sense. And then you're like, well, why is it different? It should be like that, right? How it is here, for instance. So there's another benefit of knowing different languages, and they help you to make sense of a new language. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I noticed this. Whenever I see a Belarusian plate, they typically cover their you know, current national flag with the flag of protests, right? So here's a flag that has its white, red, white, and that's kind of, maybe this is one of their old flags, but this is the flag that people use during the protests in the summer of 2020. And as you can see, I've seen it pretty much like on almost all the Belarusian plates. And obviously we have solidarity with Ukraine there. Now, when it comes to Warsaw in general, having been here for like a couple of weeks, I love it. I like the city a lot. Maybe it's not as pretty as Poznań, where actually it was like 10 years ago. Maybe it's not as, pretty as Krakow or Wrocław. I've never been there, but that's kind of what I assume. But at the end of the day, Warsaw it kind of ticks all the boxes for us. It's big. It's a relatively big city. Got great public transportation. It's got world-class restaurants and kind of, places to go. It has really nice, residential areas, very high standard of living. You have, great, like the neighborhood we live in right now, awesome neighborhood, Ochota. And at the end of the day, right, even if, I still want to go to the other cities. I still want to see, these other big cities as well. Go back to Poznań. I was there like 10 years ago, right? So things may have changed just a little bit or more than that. I still want to go there. But Warsaw, for me, like just speaking about it objectively, where I am right now, what I've seen so far, it's very special. I think it's a very, very special city. It's the heart of the country. It's the beating heart. It's this is obviously where it's gonna be, most of the money is gonna be invested and kind of put in. And so at the end of the day, I think this city kind of ticks all the boxes for us right now, and we definitely look forward to kind of living here for the foreseeable future, because the city kind of has it all as far as we are concerned. There we got a nice modern shopping center, city shopping, and across the street we have these really cool buildings, kind of this old school historical style. We got one building over there, right, this kind of corner building, which I really, really love. I love these corner buildings. They're always very, very interesting, right? They have this personality about them, right? And then we got this kind of light pink building, very, very nice as well. And there's a bunch of other cool buildings, really cool area. This area especially, there's a kind of a yellow orange building in the distance. So there's a really kind of unique style to all of it. You have these older buildings here, and then you have a modern shopping center just across the street. And there's that building up close. That's a cool building, I might say. A really amazing looking building. This is a beautiful part of the city. We got nice roads, we got the bike lane, the obligatory bike lane, which for me really is a symbol of kind of development in this city. The fact that there's bike lanes everywhere, that says a lot of good things about the city. We have a building over there, could be an important building of some sort. And on the right hand side, we have that park that I've been meaning to visit for a long time. This is that park Łazienki, I think that's what it's called. And they got some pictures here. Poland, Azerbaijan relations. So we're gonna check out this park. But this whole area is amazing. Really a nice area to come and relax, chill, especially as the weather picks up. So we have some monument over there, or some kind of a sculpture up ahead of us. Let's go have a look real quick, check it out. And there's all kinds of benches there where people can sit and enjoy themselves, maybe some kind of a performance as well when the weather allows. Let's go check out what we got over there. What is hiding behind the bushes over there? Now, looking at Google Maps, this park is huge. It very well may be one of kind of the bigger parks here. And so take a look. I'm just at the entrance. I'm just barely scratching the surface. So I want to check out that pałac, that palace over there by the lake. see what that's all about. So that's where we're gonna be heading now. And you know, just have a look around. There's even a restaurant there inside the park. And so having that New York City analogy that I was doing in the other video, this could be the Central Park of Warsaw. And they even got squirrels here, which is the same in New York City. Damn, that's a huge park. I'm just barely scratching the surface. That's a huge, huge park. Yeah, I mean, it definitely reminds me of Central Park. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at this park. This is gorgeous. I can't wait until the summer. And look at this road over here. Wow. Listen, whoever recommended this park initially, I hope I gave you a like, man. That like is well deserved. You earned that like, man. And everybody else who mentioned this park, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are just awesome. You guys are seriously awesome. We need to do a meetup real soon. I'm gonna do a poll maybe soon, like where we're gonna do it, but we definitely gotta have a meetup. And maybe like towards the end of this month, when it gets a little bit warmer, maybe we can go to some outside area, outside, you know, coffee shop or whatever, and just meet up, talk to each other, get to know each other in person. And the air here is amazing, so clean, so fresh. It's definitely a good place to kind of go and just chill. Maybe get a book, take a Kindle, take a book, take a laptop, an iPad, and just work for a bit or something. But this is an amazing park. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that squirrel over there. Look at that squirrel. They're a little bit different than the ones in New York, but they're also not very shy, just like in New York. Look at that. I should bring Moise here. She's gonna love the squirrels, I bet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the lake here, this body of water, and it is amazing. I don't know what happened to the sun. I swear it was definitely sunny when I left the house, but look at this lake. Look at this body of water here, and there's people chilling. Not too many, but there's gonna be more as the weather becomes warmer. We got this building right here, really gorgeous. That is a gorgeous park, and it has this calmness, this kind of serenity about it that's kind of hard to put it into words, but it really fits perfectly here in Warsaw. It really adds to that uniqueness of Warsaw, this grandness, and this feeling of capital, being the capital city. Look at that. There's some ducks over there enjoying their day as well. And here you can walk along this lake here. I guess it's a nice spot here for dates and stuff in the summer, if I had to guess. Hey, squirrel. Hey, how are you? How are you, squirrel? Hey, little squirrel. Well, that was a great walk through that park. Awesome park. I probably just only scratched the surface. I definitely gotta get back there with Marina. She's gonna love it. She is gonna love it, hands down. She's gonna absolutely love it. And who knows, you know, as the weather gets better, we're gonna come back and have a little look around together. Now, I just left the park, and there's some really good real estate here, like this building right here. That looks awesome. really modern. And I know I love this kind of modern stuff because in Kiev and really in all of Ukraine, in the big cities, you rarely see something this modern. But in the Baltic countries, Lithuania, Latvia, you see this all the time. So this kind of stuff just makes me smile. It's just so pleasant to look at. So all this walking made me a bit hungry. And I'm thinking to myself, should I go back to that Tel Aviv urban place? Look really good, the reviews are really good. Or should I try to find something here locally, something around here? And honestly, I'm really in the mood for some falafel, some hummus. So maybe that's what I'm gonna do. And take a look at this building right here. It's like this one long balcony. It looks like a cruise ship, this building, doesn't it? Let me know. But you know, it looks interesting, I gotta say. It looks pretty unique, I give it that. And here we are back in Mokotov, and we are looking for that Tel Aviv urban food place. I think it's just down there. I had my heart set on it, and so that's what we're gonna be doing today. Here's the menu. It looks really standard for kind of what I'm used to. We got the hummuses here. We got the pita falafel that I really like. And we have some more things here. So what are we gonna be doing? We are gonna be doing probably pita falafel, most likely. Alright, so we got our gyros here. I think this is XL, or maybe this is regular, I'm not sure. We got fries, we got this, and that looks really, really good actually. And it's funny because back in Kiev, we had, me and Marina used to go to this gyro place, pita place all the time. And so we really missed that place. It was really, really good. One of our favorite kind of restaurants in Kiev. And so hopefully this is going to be the continuation of that tradition. I still have to take Marina here. I need to see if she likes it, but you know, I think this looks very, very promising. It's actually pretty good. It's a little spicy, but I like spicy food, so pretty good. Definitely gonna be coming back for this kind of food. Well, that was pretty good food. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it would be more kind of fast foody, but it was pretty good. Very similar to what we used to have in Kiev. And apparently this place is like a chain. I think I've seen a couple of more of these around the city. So if you know, we're up for a quick bite, this is gonna be a great option. And you know, just walking around this area, I gotta compare it with maybe a neighborhood in Brooklyn. You know, I'm thinking something like Sunset Park, or maybe, I don't know, Brooklyn Heights, somewhere around there, right? It's one of these kind of neighborhoods: Sunset Park, Brooklyn Heights, Williamsburg, without the river, obviously. And so it has that kind of feel that there are young people here, there are families here, everybody's here. It's got a good feel to it, this neighborhood. And you know, I can't come back home with empty hands. That's just a bad tradition. So I got a Sernik Kralevsky. Serniks, I love Serniks. It's very similar in Ukraine as well. The name is called Sirnik, so it's very, very similar. And we love Serniks. And so I got a box. We're gonna be having that later today. Marina is gonna love it. Looks like not only have I only scratched the surface of Warsaw, as the city, but I only scratched the surface of Ochota, the neighborhood where we are living now, because this is also Ochota, but I've never been in this part of the neighborhood. It's kind of south of where we live, so I should probably spend more time kind of walking around Ochota as well, just kind of to get to know it, because Ochota is it's such a cool neighborhood. I mean, it's just an awesome neighborhood. Like, maybe it's because I'm used to it by now, but it feels so good here. It just kind of has it all. It has these really nice streets, these really cool buildings. Everything is kind of taken care of. It's a really cool neighborhood. It feels really good.